Is there a reliable way to predict what prices crypto assets will crash to in the next bear market? Well, I mean, let's go to Force for that because that's pretty much what you do, right? With the forecasts.
Yeah. So, was the question particularly on altcoins or just anything in general?
Anything in general, crypto in general.
Yeah. So, typically, historically, what we've seen is some of the larger projects pull 80 to 85% corrections, such as Ethereum. I believe we saw I think Ethereum saw a 96% correction towards the bottom. Let me double check, right? Yeah. So,
That sounds
a
about right.
94% correction. Yeah. So, guys, I personally think altcoins, the good projects, will hold up a little bit better in a potential bear market, right? So I don't think we're in a bear market yet. As we discussed towards the beginning of this live stream, I think we potentially have a large move to the upside. We still have 180 days at least in this cycle if we copy previous cycles in terms of 4 years or lengthening cycle theory. But altcoins do drop historically a lot. I mean, a lot of even solid projects that did bounce back saw over 90% corrections. Now, one of the reason for those 90% corrections is are these violent moves upward, right? I don't think we saw a big enough move upward to see 90 plus percent corrections based off of where we have recently peaked, right? So I'll cut over to the Bitcoin chart for just a moment to show you, right? We saw Bitcoin move from, we'll call it $201 at the bottom of its, market cycle, at the bottom of its bear market before the 2017 peak, right? Up to almost $20,000, a massive move upwards. So then a 85% correction isn't actually that bad in comparison to where we started. So these corrections are very, very large, but you need an absolutely massive. Basically, the higher the upside, the deeper the correction can be. And I've gone through and I've measured in the past some potential 70 to 85% corrections from our market or popular market cycle predictions for Bitcoin and altcoins this market cycle, right? If we just use easy math, right, and say 100K Bitcoin is what we see this market cycle, and obviously we kind of already peaked at 65K, but a lot of people for a long time were saying 100K. A 70% correction brings us down to 30K. An 85% correction brings us down to 15K. So the question is, do you think Bitcoin can drop down to 15K? Probably not, especially if we go to 100K, right? So I think for us to see these big, big corrections, we need to see further upside. But to answer your question, in short, altcoins typically looking for at least an 85% correction, at least this market cycle and this bear market, because that's what we saw for Bitcoin in the previous bear market. Now, obviously, you had to wait very patiently to snipe that 85%, the 85% dip. But if we start averaging into altcoins once they've dipped 80 to 85% and their maximum drawdown ends up being 90 to 95%, then we're able to accumulate an average in over a period of time. So, just keep in mind, historically, altcoins can drop over 90%. That doesn't mean that the overall total cryptocurrency market cap in altcoin space isn't still growing. It's because we see these huge swings in this volatility, the upside, that we can drop 90% and still see long-term growth, if that makes sense.
All right. Thank you, Forrest. Bill, how about you? Can we predict where the market is going or crashing to in a bear market?
Yes, yes. In a bear market, everything goes to zero, and I'm not joking. So, well, I am joking and not. So let's clarify what I think is happening in the market right now. We're in a gut wrenching correction in bull markets. People who have been watching the stream for a while will know that in the past, I've talked about stages that bull markets can go through, right? There's the disbelief stage. Then there's a stage where people go, oh, I can't buy it. It's too expensive. I already missed it. And then it 3Xs. And then there are these like multi-week or multi-month shakeouts that just cause revulsion, but they don't completely crack the market technically. Like, for example, Bitcoin normally does a 40% correction, and this one is pressing everyone's nerves by doing 50 or 55. Okay. So I think what's happening now, bigger picture, bigger coins, is corrective. In 2022, there's probably going to be something not so good happens. And that's when you get these 85 and 90% markdowns, along with probably the elimination of cryptos that just won't make it, right? In other words, you can't assume every crypto is going to make it. Every DeFi platform, every, Ethereum competitor is not going to make it through the next bear market. So I can make a joke about zero, but it's actually not a joke, because if you pull up the biggest coins, or if you put up the top 50 market cap from, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, it all looks totally different. So the bear markets change the entire landscape.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So my thoughts, yeah, I agree. Basically, any project with no fundamental value goes to zero, or as close to zero as possible. That's why I think having a long-term outlook and only investing in projects that you think will be around in the next 5 to 10 years, right? Because right now there's lots of speculation. So all these meme coins, all these doggy coins I would say all these doggy coins in the next 5 years, they're probably all dead, all going to zero. Right? Just go back to all the last projects. Just go look at the top 100 market cap every single year. It's basically constant musical chairs. I mean, just for example, Neo. Neo used to be a top 10 coin. Now its market cap is down to 44, right? Or for example, back in 2017, Stratus was a top 20 altcoin at one point, right? Basically, it was that Windows C Sharp, I think, or Windows.NET blockchain. Now it's in like outside the top 200, I believe. Right. So altcoins are constantly changing every single time. There's lots of innovation happening, and it's constant musical chairs. So if you want to predict what's going to happen, just look at projects that have not launched yet, that are vaporware. They're going to zero, right? They're going to, or as close to zero as it gets. Right. That's why we think having projects that have actual fundamentals, or even not launched a product, those will still be around. Right. That's how you predict what's going to do well. But tell us what you think down below in the comments.
Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.